Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Episode Friends and Rivals podcast.
Start again, stupid.
Whoa.
Friends and Rivals is a number now?
Holy shit, what am I doing? Get your head in the game, Dickie. All right. Well, you got me going into an upbeat tempo after a death dedication.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
I do want to talk about you mentioned something about the Rangers getting rid of Dairy Queen. What the hell was that about? I love Dairy Queen.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Episode 25, Friends and Rivals podcast coming at you. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. With me, as always, are...
I just want to say thanks for having me as a guest on your podcast, Tom. My name is Stephen Wojtowicz.
Welcome aboard.
I'm Bill Fougere, and I'm sad.
Hey, it's Nikki L from North Carolina, Raleigh. Just calling in.
Nikki, welcome to the program. What do you got for us, buddy?
I just want to say, the Flyers, fuck the Flyers. That's all
Fuck
I'm
the
saying.
Flyers.
Thank
Fuck
you.
the Flyers. Are you fucking kidding me? You got a Toronto Maple Leafs flag?
Go Leafs, go, baby. It's the playoffs.
Is
That
what
was
you're
the big
waiting
reveal.
for?
Go Leafs, go.
Fucking reveal.
That's
was
why you
it?
can have your camera on for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
It
All
looks
right.
the room looks better, I'll give you that.
It matches it blends right in with the background, you know?
Beautiful decor.
So how much did that gag cost you?
$35.
Nice. Good job.
Oh my God. Doesn't China make them for $3.50?
It's going back tomorrow, baby.
Yes.
Amazon Prime.
Wow. Way to abuse that membership.
Saved all the packaging. It's right
Oh
here.
my God. You really did. Holy shit. Way to
My
go for
jokes,
it, dude.
my jokes only go so far.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You guys are worth like a $5 flag. I would keep it. A $35 flag for the joke. You're not worth it.
And what's so good about it is that our podcast audience could really get such a kick out of seeing that flag.
I'm sure they could figure out what it is. For those of you listening at home, Steve has turned on his camera to reveal a Toronto Maple Leafs flag hanging in the back.
How are they doing in their series?
Doesn't start till tomorrow.
Stupid Vancouver.
Stupid.
They played it like
I think it's
2 o'clock
just.
in the afternoon today.
I think that was a regular season. I think that was a regular season game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get it over with.
I think just because of I think it's the time difference up there in Canada.
Okay, moving on. So we're gonna start off with. I guess I fucking hate watching the Pens and Islanders. I gotta tell you, but unfortunately we're stuck, and they're the ones that are playing in the playoffs along with the Caps and Bruins. So, guess we kind of talk about those teams on this podcast. So Nick and Bill, I mean, just go ahead, talk about the series.
Nick's the winner. He should talk first.
Oh, okay. I guess so. Yeah. So pretty good game one. Pretty back and forth. Isles took an early lead. Looked to try and stem the big rush from the Pens in the first period. Pens definitely came out looking pretty good, and home crowd, first round. Soft goals from a few, or I should say some soft goals led up by both sides. A couple bad ones by Jarry early. A couple glove side goals that tended to be really part of, I guess, big part of the game. Was that glove hands side there? Really, all the goals seem to be going that direction. But Pens tied it up, took the lead. Crosby on honestly one of those goals that you just. We know he's a great player, but man, was that an unbelievable deflection? One-handed, being pushed away. I mean, I think it was Pollock was on him and pushed him away. Played him perfectly. How do you stop a guy from deflecting a pass when he's getting pushed away from the play? He takes his stick in one-handed and just deflects the shot in.
Wait. Here's my professional opinion. You don't.
You can't stop that. It's one of those plays that, you're like, oh, of course he made that fucking play. But it won't show up on probably many of his highlight reels because he's got too many fucking things. But goddamn, he was all over the ice. He looked way too dangerous. He was good all game. I thought he was just, maybe he was going to be ready to take over the playoffs with that kind of performance. He looked awesome. But the Isles really came back in the third period. Their grinding style started to grind down the Pens in that third period. And second period was better. And then the third period, they really started to come alive. They scored 2 goals and essentially looked like they might win the game. But Kasperi Kapanen scored a goal right immediately, almost 30 seconds after Brock Nelson took the lead for the Isles. And that game went to OT, where we had a Palmieri setting. Not only did Kyle Palmieri start off the scoring in the game, but the kind of a weak shot it looked like didn't seem like much of a great shot, but I guess it was just perfectly placed or missed on the glove side. But he definitely made sure that in this game, and his overtime shot was awesome. Just kind of puck bouncing, knocked it up right into the smallest little spot. And that's the guy we've been waiting for since we traded for him. That line has been with Palmieri, Pajot, and Wallstrom were awesome. They were definitely our best line all night, and they had 3 of the 4 goals. And they've been really good together, which is nice to see because, like I said, Palmieri was a guy that I was hoping would finally pick it up, and so far, game 1 it looked like that was the case. What'd you think, Bill? How the Pens look in your opinion?
Well, the Penguins went into this series. They were 1-8 in the previous 9 playoff games. You could they take some of that bad taste out of your mouth by taking the division late in the season. So you feel like you did accomplish something. But no matter what you do in the regular season, when you go in after 3 consecutive playoff failures, it's just there's a little bit of a wait and see from Penguins fans. Like, let's actually see them get competitive in this series. Let's actually see if they could win, 2 of the first 4 games and really make a series out of it. So disappointing to see to see them lose in overtime, opening up the playoffs at home. But I have to break a story here. This is a Friends and Rivals exclusive. I caught the Islanders cheating.
What?
Like New England Patriots cheating, or like Tampa Bay Lightning cheating?
Like which team cheating?
like New England Patriots cheating, or like Tampa Bay Lightning cheating?
No, really, actually, it's Houston Astros cheating.
What?
Oh,
I saw they had an iPad with a video feed on the bench. They were banging the trash can, telling everybody that was their signal. Go high glove, and they just kept going high glove. They kept on scoring, and I don't think it's fair. They're cheaters, and also the puck is juiced. So I have
not deflated
going on with the series.
They're using a different type of rubber this year.
Must be.
I think they're using those old Fox trackers that just like fly off and like turn red.
Oh, those are the greatest. I don't know. I think Jarry won 3 of those goals back, 3 of those shots back,
at least. Look at so the game 1 goals against, and then even the first one that he gave up in the game today were all high glove side. Well, one of them was glove side and low, but so 4 of them were really high glove side, and it's a weakness for him. But it kind of reminded me of Matt Murray in goal in the playoffs in 16 and 17. Everybody knew he had that weakness, and a lot of goals got scored there. But you just got to limit, the Penguins have to limit the time and space that people have to size up that shot. It can be done, and Jarry's got to anticipate it better. He's just kind of, a few of those shots have been by him before he even reacted. I still don't understand why when the opposing player has the puck at a sharp angle, that the first move for NHL goalies is to go down on one knee and give away a top corner instead of just standing and blocking the whole thing when the puck's at an angle. I guess they need to have that. They want to anticipate and have that lateral movement, and they're going to give away a little bit there. But it just seems like
style that Patrick Waugh brought.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see many Kirk McLeans anymore. You see a lot of Martin Brodeurs and Patrick Waughs.
but it's not even butterfly. It's only they only go down on one leg. It seems like the leg closest to the post they stay up on, and the other leg they go down on. And like Bill's saying, they expose that top corner.
Is there any non-butterfly goalie in the NHL right now?
No, I don't think so.
I'm really trying to think of anybody, and I can't
Jeff
think of-
Reese.
It-
That
no,
was the
it's
answer to another trivia question.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I Jarry, I'm not going to absolve Jarry from some of the goals that he gave up in that game. They were not, a couple of them, really weren't any good, but at the same time, I don't anticipate an Islander team that's going to sharpshoot the shit out of that top corner that often in the series. That was. They did a great job in game one. I'm not going to take anything away from the Islanders, but I don't anticipate the Penguins losing 4 games that look that way. They could very well get swept out of this series for all I know. I'm not saying the Islanders won't win 4 games, but I think that's the only game that we're going to look back and say, well, that was really weird that they kept hitting that top corner. It's not that easy to hit that top corner. And again, I think the Penguins got to take a little bit of that time and space away that they were allowing in game one. And then as far as, the home ice got flipped in game one, the home ice advantage is it's really like a mental advantage if you get into a longer series, knowing that you've got, if you're down 3-1, well, at least you've got game 5 at home and you've got 2 of your last 3 potentially games at home. That's a little bit of a mental edge. And then if you're up 3-1, you say, okay, we got 2 chances at home to finish it off. I really feel like that home ice advantage could get wrestled back and forth. It's not like I would have anticipated that the Penguins would, win all their home games and that's how they would win the series. So they're definitely going to need to win in Long Island. And that just, we just figured that out after game 1. It was, it's a realization that set in pretty quickly. So I still, I want to feel good about the Penguins' chances still. They've got the 2-1 lead going into the third period tonight. Hopefully they could even it up. But yeah, I'm still just a little hesitant saying, it's been a few lean years in the playoffs here. And I would like to see them, it's just kind of a wait and see. Let's see them get into the series. Hopefully it won't be a quick one. Since they lost game 1, I'm not anticipating winning the next 4. So hopefully we see like a 6-7 game series here.
Where's Pat Sajak? Is he hurt?
No,
He's been a healthy scratch.
he's going to be the first forward off. He's not, he's really the extra guy. He's
Right.
the depth guy, that the first winger coming off, center coming off. Michael Cole is probably the first winger. Maybe Zajac comes on regardless. It depends. I guess it depends on which guy goes off. But
Well, you're not too big on Komarov, so
I'm not. I'd rather see Cole up there, to be honest. I think that we're not going to probably see much of a change unless they feel that maybe there's a good chance to do so. But Leo has, the experience, and that's what a lot of times in the playoffs they're going to lean on those guys, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Zajac during games 3 and 4
Good.
when the Isles have last change and they put him out there against Crosby. He's always played really well against Crosby.
He could slot in. What's going to be interesting to watch is tonight we had Oliver Walsham, who's been playing great on the second line, had 3 penalties in the second period and didn't get benched. Now, mind you, that one of those penalties was him and Letang went off at the same time. And another one was a really weak roughing call. But nevertheless, that could always resonate. He could be the guy that gets kind of pulled for someone else if they feel that's necessary. I don't know if he messed with that line, if it's playing well. But there's a good chance Zajac maybe comes in, I think, for Komarov if they need to get something going with Barzal. He's looked a little out of he just isn't engaging. He's been kind of floating around. He's not getting space at all, and he hasn't looked very fast. But it could be just because he's not getting the usual kind of space he gets when they're playing their teams.
Maybe that just is really frustrating him. And
he's just off. He doesn't look like he hasn't gotten started. Whereas Sidney Crosby looked fucking great. Same with Jeff Carter, who looked really, really dangerous yesterday or 2 days ago, and he got a goal tonight, and he's looked pretty good. Now,
almost like they're not missing Malkin. Now,
Well,
Malkin missed the first
yeah.
2 games of the playoffs. I mean, he's got to have a broken leg, something like that. His back is like completely
Yeah,
destroyed. What's going on with Malkin?
nobody's going to tell us anything that's going on with Malkin as far as what his injury is. But that I'm comfortable with him sitting out of the lineup in the playoff game. Yes, the Penguins want him, but the fact of the matter is there is more than any other player on the Penguins team. There is a big difference between healthy Malkin and Malkin who is not 100% healthy. And if there's anything nagging at him, I trust he's making the right decision to sit it out. And I actually, if I kind of appreciate actually that he's got the maturity to do so. He's been in practices, which would make you think, okay, if it's the playoffs, if your arm's not falling off or whatever, you should go if you're in practice, right? I mean, that's kind of the
and you
prevailing
see a video
notion.
of him skating too, and he looked pretty good. He looked pretty mobile.
Yeah, so
He didn't
that's
look like
what
he was skating around with too many restrictions, though.
if there's something that he feels gonna physically impede him, I'm not worried about him, making that call. I because he is when there's an ailment and when there's anything on his mind besides just being a physical presence out there and playing the game his way, he goes from a plus player to a minus player very quickly.
So now, look, the Penguins don't have that luxury right now of having that backup goaltender in Casey DeSmith, to come in and play a game for Jarry and maybe shore up that glove side. A stark difference to the Islanders who had to start Sorokin. Sorry.
Who's that? Oh,
I'm sorry. Aaron Sorkin,
Aaron Sorkin?
in
There you
game
go.
1 and went back to Varlamov for game 2. Now, Nick, I asked you earlier before the series even started who they start, and you went Varlamov, and I said you don't think there's going to be anything if Varlamov gets shelled in one game, they go to Aaron Sorkin, and he comes in and takes over the reins maybe forever. If Varlamov loses tonight, if he gives up 2 goals in the third period, and the Islanders lose 4-1, I gotta think you're going to see Aaron Sorkin in game 3.
I don't know. Maybe it could happen. It's basically a 1A 1B situation in some ways, but it's hard to say no to Barley when he's healthy after the season he's had. I think he gets the nod if he's okay, unless really Varley doesn't play well. I think the first goal of this game, Varley definitely let in a horrible softie. I mean, that wasn't a it was almost like a off speed shot almost. Like he just completely looked like he missed it. It was glove side, and everything.
Look, he took his eye off it. That's really it.
Yeah, and it might have been. It was like, oh boy. But then he got shelled on the shots for the next few few minutes, and they had almost 20 shots on goal in the first period, if not 20 shots. So I mean, that was Dumoulin just took a massive hit.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
that's a big problem.
That was not
he's the Mike Portnoy. That's not good.
That was a scary, just tangled up in the feet.
Are we still talking about that? Oh my God, Mike Portnoy.
But anyway, so I think it'll be interesting to see what happens rest of this game. I don't foresee them making a change unless he makes maybe another really bad, left another soft game. But he's played well tonight. He's only let in one other goal on a really good shot by Carter, and we're at 31 shots, I think, right now in the game, and third period just started, and so he's played well outside of one shot that really he should have had. So I mean, and it was the first shot. Was the first shot of the game, I think, or second? It was really early.
It was right around there.
Yeah.
What the rest goal got deflected looked like.
The first goal, I don't think so. That looked like you think off the stick on the.
I think there was somebody right in front of Russ. I thought it deflected like immediately when he released it.
Maybe it was still soft though. It was, I don't know. It didn't look good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game ends, because I think it's going to tell us a lot about both teams. If they start to wilt again in the third period here, it's going to probably be a tough series for them. If Isles can stop them early and keep them from getting goals early in the game, keeping the Penguins off the score sheet in the first period might just be what they need to win the series. especially going back into the island on the island where basically we've played really, really well. We're gonna have fans there, a ton of fans, just like in the 9,000 people here tonight. I think it's 7,000.
No,
Was it more?
on the
Right?
island?
66.
I think it was 9 at the Penguins game tonight, but I think
Yeah.
it might be up
Yeah,
around 7.
I think it was around 7 on the island. So, that's going to be a big factor. We'll see how it goes. But, if we can keep the home ice advantage, that's going to be much harder thing for the Penguins to deal with, I think, than they want. But we'll see. Anything can happen.
From an outside perspective, game 1, the Penguins were all over them early. And halfway through the second period, it just seemed like the tables had turned. And I didn't think I saw the Penguins literally come out of the locker room for the third period. I did not think they had a good third period at all. And tonight I'm seeing a very, very similar game where the Pens were on them early and often in the first period. And then after that Jeff Carter goal, I don't know. It's like the Penguins almost relaxed and let the Islanders get back into this game. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in this third period. See if the Penguins can hold up defensively, or if that onslaught and that aggressiveness of that Islander attack, especially in Barzal. Barzal's got to show up here a little bit. He's not having too many shots on goal, and he needs to lead this team, and he needs to show that he can lead this team here in the third period if the Islanders want to come back and win this game.
I agree.
I mean,
He's got a.
I haven't watched many Penguins games, but do they tend to go into that like stall offense late in games when they're ahead? Do they go into that, just protect the lead instead of extend the lead?
Yeah, they're terrible with a lead. Actually,
Okay.
I'm just gonna say they're terrible with a lead. They were so terrible with a lead for the later part of the season, which was why they ended up being able to pull off winning the division late. But yeah, I mean the first big lead that they got this season, they went up 3-0 against the Flyers in the first 10 minutes of the first period, and they lost that game in regulation. There's no safe lead with the Penguins. There never has been. There never will be. But when they've got a 1-goal lead, I mean they're not going to win every game, but that's really these type of close games are where they look like they're hanging on. That is kind of their niche, because they somehow they manage to do it, and they'll counterpunch with a goal somewhere. And if they're going to be successful in the playoffs, that's how they do it too.
Shifting topics, looking around some other playoff series going on around. You got Washington and Boston. That series is tied at 1 game apiece. Everybody's favorite two jackasses are playing in that game, and I'm not even talking about Raffle with Tom Wilson and Marchand. Marchand actually getting the overtime winner yesterday, which was.
It was a nice goal.
I hate to say it, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
the whole play was gorgeous. I thought that it was very well contested. Both teams played very well defensively, hitting. It's what you wanted to see in playoff hockey. It's just like what's going on with Florida and Tampa. And that series, God in heaven, that series is back and forth offense. There's a ton of hittings, and they're just two teams that really can't stand each other. And I really didn't think that Florida was that type of team. But man,
there's never been that rivalry, that they're both Florida teams, right? It's never been like that.
No, I don't think that Florida's ever
always thought there was.
Was that
really?
I think on the Panthers' part, there was always that rivalry. It's like one of those, Tampa's always had a little bit more success and been kind of the big brother in that rivalry. And so Florida's always had that kind of pent up, but this is their first real chance at them.
So you're thinking like they're like the stepchild of the state,
like the New Jersey Devils of the metro area.
Yeah, exactly. Without all the that success
and annoying fans.
Well, I do like to think that the Devils do have the most annoying fans in the NHL, but I haven't actually been in Florida to confirm that.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Devils most annoying, worse than a Bruins fan or a Flyers fan?
No, that's not bad.
Isn't that bad?
Just pure annoyance at games. Not like as mean. They're not gonna like shiv you in the parking lot like a Flyers fan or whatever. But just for being purely annoying in the arena, yeah, Devils fans got it. Devils fans take the cake.
Well, hey, Steve, congratulations.
Fine with me.
Hey,
Fine with me. I'll take it.
Congratulations.
I've been to Flyers games. I've been to Devils games. I've been to a Boston game. Yeah. I mean, they're just relentless in New Jersey.
If the fan of the other team thinks you're annoying, you're doing your job.
And that's
Congrats,
why
Steve.
you guys are the most annoying fans, because
There you go.
apparently got that attitude for some reason.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I thought there'd be a little bit more scoring in the Minnesota Vegas series. I mean, it's only game one. Cam Talbot played really, really well. Imagine him on the Devils this year, Steve. No.
Imagine Corey Crawford on the Devils this year.
No, but Talbot was a candidate to come to New Jersey, wasn't he?
Yeah. But then the Crawford signing happened, and everybody thought that was gonna, really have a strong impact. Blackwood wouldn't have to play as much. He'd have a nice veteran who's been to the top of the mountain to follow after. And
I thought Nashville put up a pretty decent fight against Carolina until the third period, when the game got a little out of hand. I think Nashville's size is going to be a problem for Carolina, but it seems like Carolina's okay using their speed just to get around them. Philip Forsberg came back and played a really, really solid game last night. But I don't think Carolina's going to have that much problems with Carolina. The only way that could happen is if Nashville really starts to bang them. I think they're going to have to do that in order to make this a series, because I just don't think they have the offensive strength to go out there. But I want to get back to that Florida game real quick before we jump into that, because something just hit my brain. The Panthers started Drager tonight instead of Bobrovsky. I didn't think Bobrovsky played all that bad in game one against Tampa. And he's making what, $9 million a year? And not to have your $9 million a year goaltender in game two against your rival now? There's something wrong there. Something
I never understood the logic of the player being paid more has to play.
Yeah, who are playing better?
Why not play the person that gives you the better chance to win?
There you go.
And not only that, maybe it's not the goaltending, it's how the other players respond to, hey, we really got to step up our game because now we got our backup in net, and we can't give them all the free chances we gave them in game one.
No, and listen, I understand that. They also are down a guy tonight with Sam Bennett getting suspended for a game for the hit on Blake Coleman, which should have happened. But I don't know, man.
Coleman had it coming.
You're paying a guy $9 million to be your goaltender. He better be in net for game two of the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
You're both right. I mean, because really, look, you gotta just put your best guy out there in the playoffs. You can't be nice about saving face with who you're paying more. Yeah, you got to put your best foot forward. At the same time, if you're the goalie that they're paying $9 million a year, man, you can't. There can't be a reason for them to take you out of the lineup. That's wrong. You gotta step up and be the number one guy.
I agree, obviously. But we get a couple of game ones starting later on this week. On was that tomorrow? Do we get the Winnipeg Edmonton finally getting going tomorrow? And then on Thursday we get that other series in Canada.
Go Leafs, go!
Steve's pointing at his Maple Leafs flag again. Who the Maple Leafs got, Steve?
I don't even know.
What you got a flag?
You have to know.
You're a Maple Leafs fan. You have no idea who they're playing.
What does it matter? They're gonna win.
They're your playoff team.
They're gonna win. What does it matter? What does it matter?
Isn't it Montreal?
They're gonna win. Who cares?
Steve, I'll give you. It's not Ottawa.
It's
Damn.
not Vancouver. It's not Calgary.
Not Calgary.
Quebec.
Come on, buddy.
Quebec still got a team?
Yeah, they're in Colorado and they're playing.
They said Canada was going to close down for these 2 weeks for this series.
What, for the Winnipeg Edmonton one? Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, for that one.
Well, it's the first time they're playing in the first round of the playoffs since like 43 years or something.
It would have to be a long time, yeah.
And the last one we didn't really talk about yet was that Colorado St. Louis matchup. I thought Ron Binnington played really, really well in net against
I think his name is Jordan.
Yeah, whatever.
Jordan Binnington.
But I think he played really, really well against that Colorado team. But Colorado.
How can you stop? That's such a high flying team, man.
Got too much. You look at all the defense, all the defensemen they throw out there, Makar and Taves and Ryan Graves and I mean, Jesus, they're really hard to stop and maintain.
Yep. The McCarr kid was really, really good. He looked very impressive. I mean, they're showing some stats he had, like the last playoff series and this almost, I think it was like close to point per game in the last year. He had a goal last night.
You go from Hobie Baker to Calder, and he might win the Norris this year. That's not a bad 3 years right there.
We're pulling for Hedman this year. Next year.
Oh, right. I mean,
next year we
I'm just saying.
Fox and yeah.
He's winning.
Okay.
He's winning one for sure.
No, there's no question.
Least one.
At least one. I agree with you, Nick. At least one.
You never know with that race. Who knows? Because they're always kind of like.
Yeah, is it?
They're just kind of like, it's some guys have won years where like how did this guy win it, and maybe it's more politics there than whoever's voting. But it's a close race every time.
So Steve is like 1 minute ahead of almost everybody watching this game. So his reactions are what we're going to see in 1 minute from now. So we'll see exactly what he saw because.
So was it real or was it fake?
Out of his head.
Why doesn't he just pause for a minute so that we can all watch together?
Oh, that would be a good idea.
Because he's a selfish.
Not going to do it.
I know.
Right.
Not going to do it.
Selfish Devils fan.
That's right.
Fun Maple Leafs fan.
No,
That doesn't know what team they're playing against.
What's the difference? One's from Canada, one's from New Jersey. Is that the difference?
Maple Leafs fans probably are the most annoying in Canada.
There's 2 words. The whole difference is 2 words. Ready? Legal touching.
Well, no, that's
wow.
Is that in all Canada, or is that? I thought it was just Montreal.
No, I think it's the whole country.
That's just some clubs in Montreal. Not that I know anymore. I haven't been there.
I think it's a farce too. I don't think it's real.
Oh, God.
Because it's not like you can go to Wanda's. Not that I know what that is or
Yeah, but Wanda's wasn't even the place with the legal touching.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like it's legal touching everywhere.
I mean, sure, it was down this dark alley where there was a side dark door that we had to go into, but it was still a good time.
I don't really know what you mean.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Wasn't that dark of an alley? There were some neon lights.
Well, Weinstein feels to this discussion all of a sudden.
Holy crap! I had never been so cold in my life. The second was Boston in January. I mean, but we were in Montreal in November, and I was frozen solid.
When you walk out a building and all of a sudden all the snot in your nose just turns into ice, that means it's pretty cold.
Right, and it's not like I had a full head of hair on my head either. So I was losing a lot of heat that day. And that January game in Boston where we were walking around. That was why did we do that?
Who knows?
But we did learn what a packy
We were
was.
just looking for a packy. That's all we were looking for.
Well, we were looking for a liquor store, but they
Yeah, the packy's where you get the good stuff.
Oh, you're looking for a packy? A what? A packy? A package goods? What?
Yeah, sure. That's what we want. Yeah, I can't get it on Sunday, so fuck off.
Wherever they sell alcohol, I don't give a fuck what it's called. Just point me to the place, pal. While we take a break from all this fun, exciting playoff stuff, there was actually some Ranger news last week, and we didn't get to discuss it here. After me pulling for and saying I didn't think it was going to happen, well, that's exactly what happened, and that David Quinn got fired by the New York Rangers, and now the search for the next New York Ranger coach starts. And it's
Quinn was fired before our podcast even went live. Like between the time you said it to the time we went live,
well, I mean,
he was gone.
The same thing happened the week prior, right? Gordon
True.
and Gordon and Davidson were fired before before our podcast
right.
hit the air.
Rangers do move fast.
So
And they move
can't
on
wait
Tuesdays.
Why? Yeah,
can't
why
wait to see what happens
Tuesdays?
tomorrow morning. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow morning. Really cannot.
Tortorella.
Well,
No,
they're gonna have to hire somebody tomorrow then. Before this one airs.
They've only interviewed with Gallant, who was on his way to the World Championships. So he had an opportunity to stop in New York and interview for the coaching job. But there are other names out there. You know, there was John Tortorella, Bob Hartley. I mean, all these guys I can really do without. I think Gallant is the guy that I would want to be hired.
Please, God in heaven, as I mentioned last week, I do not want Eichel. Please do not make John Tortorella come back to this team. I do not want him as coach of the next coach of the New York Rangers. Please, God, if you're listening, please let that happen.
I hear he's a big fan.
God of John Tortorella.
I do hear he's
Or the
he's one
Rangers?
of our subscribers.
I might have listened to you, Tom, if you didn't masturbate so much.
Is God.
Fuck.
I
saw
see
that?
you.
Oh yeah, what was I wearing, God?
You were masturbating, so nothing. It was just you naked with a bowl of Jello.
I was hot and I was hungry. Damn it. So the search goes on for the next coach.
So
of the
you
New
would
York
be happy with Gallant, and if it's not Gallant, do you wish they go with not another retread like somebody new, like Quinn was, or
No, I think they need an
do you
experienced
hope they
coach.
hire somebody that has experience?
I think this next coach has to be an experienced head coach in the NHL.
Players coach or a disciplinarian?
Well, look, Quinn was a barker in practice, but he was very much the players liked him. So I don't know what to call Quinn because he yelled a lot in practice. But the players did seem to like him. But I think they got to go with some sort of a players coach next round with not so much barking, but just an experienced guy who you listen to, demands your respect, and implements systems. You get that guy, he's going to make your team infinitely better. And I think that's who they got to look out for. And that's basically Gallant. That's his resume. That's what he does. He did it in Florida. He did it in Las Vegas. So hopefully he can do it for New York after the interviews all happen. But who else would be out there? Maybe a Rod Brindamore. There's even talk of Rick Tocchet. I mean, I don't know. What did Tocchet do in Arizona? Did he do anything?
Can we trade you guys Lindy Ruff?
No, absolutely not. That will never no. If that does happen, I might have to follow Bill and leave the team.
Ooh!
Who
We'll
am I
give you
kidding?
Lindy Ruff and a bunch of 2x4s.
Whoa. Now that's
You
gold.
know the price of wood is
That's
the price of
gold.
wood is up there.
That it really.
And then
and
some gas and some gasoline in a
gas
plastic
is-
bag.
gas has come back. Gas has come back. I don't think we could put gas in that category anymore. I think it's just plywood.
Okay.
3 4x8 sheets of plywood cost me $222. By the way,
How wait?
when I
What
was
was that? How
redoing my
much?
when I was redoing my bathroom, I had to buy 3 sheets of half-inch plywood, 4x8 sheets. 3 cost me $221. 3 sheets.
Yikes!
Do the math on that, Bill.
I
That's
don't
just
know.
plywood. They don't put bourbon in it or nothing.
Oh baby, is that in?
No.
I don't think so.
Thanks, Steve. Way to be on
Let me
top of
ruin
that.
it for you. Nope. Didn't go in.
No, it's good. We didn't want to check the replay and go through the suspense
5
of
minutes
knowing
ago.
if it was a goal or not. Fuck, what the fuck do we care?
5
What
minutes
do we
ago
care?
for me.
What do we care?
It's not-
7:26 left in the third. Still 2-1 Penguins.
7:10 left in the third. Still 2-1 Penguins.
How am I only?
Great. Now I know nothing's gonna happen in the next 16 seconds. Steve, could you stop doing that?
All right, so we are gonna do. We're gonna mix things up tonight, and we're gonna do.
Ooh.
We are. I know. We are gonna do. It's time for everybody's favorite game. It's Impressions with Bill.
No,
Oh, great. It's Impressions with Bill.
everybody's not
No.
excited about this. I thought you'd be more excited because I wasn't doing trivia this week.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
But you're still taking this attitude into it, huh?
No,
Okay.
we have refreshed our mindset and our fun for this segment, and we look for new beginnings with you, sir.
It's Impressions with Bill.
I like that. That's very upbeat. You're smiling. You can hear the smile on the podcast, guys. You can hear when somebody's talking and they're smiling, and it's very refreshing.
You can also
Okay.
hear when you got a cock in your mouth. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, okay. There goes my first
It's Micro Machine Bill.
impression. All right.
Oh man,
I've got a hockey impression and a non-hockey impression.
how about
What
your
do you guys want me to do first? Hockey or non-hockey?
What your
Let's go.
delay was so bad that you talked and you moved the microphone away from your mouth, and your voice was going in the background, but your lips weren't moving. I thought you were a magician.
It's my ventriloquism act that I'm taking to the podcast. Yes.
Well, that's good. No, ventriloquism is perfect for a podcast.
Let's go non-hockey first.
Non-hockey first. Okay.
Wait, what was it? Wait, you have 2 impressions? I'm
I
so
got a
excited.
I got a non-hockey and a hockey.
Oh man, all right.
Yeah. Okay, non-hockey first. See if you could tell who this is. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
Is it Bill when he's drunk?
I wish.
Is it John Tortorella?
Is it?
You
No,
got
it's
it.
non-hockey, guys. Non-hockey.
shit,
No,
non-hockey.
non-hockey.
All right.
And
Now I
knowing
get it.
knowing what we know about Bill, it has to do with food. So I'm going to say it's Grimace.
That's pretty good.
No, the other purple guy.
Uh,
I really thought this is the one impression that people tell me I really had.
Gene
Nailed down.
Simmons.
Was it Tina's old car? You are.
Elmo.
You're dancing around. It is
Oh,
a kid's puppet, but it's not Elmo. Oh well, it's Barney.
Oh,
Barney,
Barney.
the purple dinosaur.
Oh, he did that. Oh, you were singing the "I Love You"
The
song.
song, right? The
Yeah.
song. Oh,
man.
golly.
Oh well, that didn't go as well as I thought
All
it went.
right. Well,
Well,
let's,
listen. You got a chance at redemption, man. You have now. It's the hockey one. I mean,
I'm gonna nail
we're
this
gonna
one.
get this one right.
I am gonna so nail this one. Okay.
Wait. Go. Hold on. Before you even start, let me see if I can guess. It's Wayne Gretzky crying at his trade press conference.
No,
Ooh, that was-
it was no. I made that joke a couple weeks ago. Anyway, like, give me a break. I'm not gonna retread my own material. All right, you guys ready?
Go for it.
Well, I was born August 7th, 1987. Well,
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Good,
Sidney
Steve.
Crosby.
Was it
See
the
how
crying
fast
or
you
was
guys
it his
guessed this?
birthday?
It was the crying. It was too easy.
Yeah.
Too spot on too.
That's really good.
I must
I know.
admit, spot on impression.
That's
I know
really
that
good.
was even more accurate than my Barney, I'm sure. and that was impressions with Bill.
Well done.
Is that-
That was
Wow.
Is that
that
better
was-
than my trivia? Worse than my trivia?
that's
I'll be honest, that's better than trivia.
That was
that was-
sensational.
yeah, I mean,
All right, now it's time
somewhere up in heaven, Jeff Reese is looking down, saying that was better than your trivia question.
Wait, Jeffries is dead.
He died?
No, he's on a plane and he's up in the sky and he was looking down.
He
Oh,
was in the,
mm.
gotcha.
All right, now for another segment. It is trivia with Nick.
No, I think we gotta go. It's trivia with Nick.
Oh, we got to do
Yeah.
the opposite of what we did for Billy.
Yeah, I think exactly.
It's time for fucking trivia with Nick.
Because that'll make Bill happy that we think the trivia is the bad part.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ugh. All right, Nick, go ahead.
All right. Which NHL team once drafted a player that didn't exist?
All right, I know the Rangers drafted someone who died.
Hmm.
But he existed.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm saying. But he existed. I mean,
So
was
did
this
so
like
did
a-
the Boston Celtics.
No, it's
Too soon? Is that too soon?
I think it's too soon for both of them.
Wow. Okay.
Somebody, was it just like a spelling error, or was this guy just like he didn't even exist? You're not even giving us hints.
No. Well, I'll give it. He did not exist. You guys wouldn't know it. So it was a joke. This is back in when the drafts had more rounds.
I have to tell you, I miss trivia.
I
Time
mean-
with Bill. I got to tell you,
Wow.
I miss awful fucking trivia with Bill. At least
The
it was a
Devils
real
drafted
fucking-
Pick a
Jeremy
fucking team.
Brodeur.
Jesus Christ.
The Devils drafted Jeremy Brodeur, and that was supposed to be a joke, and he played in the AHL this year.
Was it the
Okay.
Rangers when they drafted Hugh?
So I don't
Tisserand?
know.
All right.
You know, the weird thing is I vaguely remember that I think that I've heard this before, but I couldn't possibly remember who it was or when.
Was it Jeff Reese?
Jeffrey
It's not
is not the answer to every trivia
he's
question.
Luke.
Jeff Reese is not a team.
It
That
was
the two
Jamie
questions.
Langenbrunner.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with the Hartford Whalers.
I think it had to be the New York Rangers. I mean, it could have been a first round pick too.
Okay. Tom?
I have no fucking clue.
Guess a team.
A team. Okay.
Or
Not
the
the A team, no.
team.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Wait,
All
what
right,
year? What year was it?
What year?
1974.
The California Seals.
All right,
No, I
it's
think
gone
they
too
were-
long.
They were a team, right? Right.
Buffalo Sabres selected star center Taro Yoshimoto of the Japan Ice Hockey League, the Japan Ice Hockey League's Tokyo Katanas in the 11th round of the NHL draft. Not only did he not exist, the team didn't exist.
So why
Did
they
the
didn't
league exist?
The GM didn't acknowledge the fake draft pick until just before the start of training camp. And when they actually revealed they had to reveal because essentially he was already appeared in several NHL publications, magazines, essentially.
Oh my god.
League was not
But the
happy.
guy that they did draft, was he happy or sad about it?
We'll never
We'll
know.
never know.
All right.
Wait, so he knew he was drafting a fictitious
prank.
player.
It was the 11th round. They were like, let's fucking end this. Let's draft a guy that doesn't exist. And they did it
Speaking
for
of
fun.
let's end this. I think we need to.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you guys took a long time to make your guesses.
It sounds like
I
they
mean,
just didn't
yeah,
want to put
I mean,
anybody else under contract. Cheapskates.
All right. I got another question, another trivia question if you'd like
Thank
to.
God.
All right. Who is the only NHL player that was suspended for life?
Suspended for life. Tony DeAngelo?
This one's way out there, so you probably don't know this one. This is a 1927.
Why would you
Player.
ask us a question that we have no fucking possible way of guessing? This is worse than what Bill does. At least Bill's was
No,
somewhat
you-
relevant.
You
It was
were
an
never gonna get
interesting
Jeffries.
question.
Teddy Roosevelt.
All right. That
Oh,
one's
John
long.
Paul II.
Not gonna lie. All right, Billy Wild Beaver Coutu started a bench crawling brawl. He assaulted the referee, resulting in a lifetime suspension.
I love that guy.
Al
Assaulting the
Capone.
referee. Wow.
Was it Al Capone? Oh my
Was
God.
it Al Capone?
My other guess was going to be Eddie Altz.
All right, last question.
Wait,
Okay,
there's
oof.
another one?
There's always
Something from this
There's always
century.
another one. Which NHL team was named after a Disney movie?
Ooh.
No.
Ooh.
The Seattle Kraken. No, that wasn't it. The Frog and the Princess.
That's close. It's really
The-
close.
The Florida Kumquats.
The
I was
Kansas
gonna
City
say-
Wild Ride.
The New York Rangers, right?
The New York Teacups.
No, that would have been funnier if you said the Devils because they're a Mickey Mouse organization. So you got to know your audience.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious.
The Washington, it's a small world after all.
Well, I threw that one out to you because you guys.
No, I thought it was the Washington Hall of Presidents.
Yes, that was exactly it.
That in
It
Disney?
was the L.A. Mr. Toad's Wild Rides.
Oh, I.
Oh,
Boston,
And that
no
ends-
one fights like Gaston.
Is it the Vancouver Land of Tomorrows?
And that ends the trivia night with Nick.
Oh, I think that's
Tampa
a delay
Bay
game.
Space Mountains.
That's a delay game, I think, Mr. Rust. I don't think you can do that.
He threw it out.
we still have another, hour and 46 minutes until we get to that second.
Okay.
game.
Oh,
Well,
he
you're
did.
going to
He threw
notice
out.
it when you see it.
Holy shit!
That was deflected, I'm sure.
Where did he go? Wait.
I'm still waiting for it. Are we getting a penalty or not? This is not good.
Oh,
He practically
well-
did the thing where he's like, here, let me pull this puck out of your ear. I thought
Yeah,
that's
he
what he was going to
definitely-
do next.
close
No,
hand.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
he threw the puck out of the zone. I don't think you're allowed to do that,
He-
Mr.
he-
Rust.
Not only did he caught it, moved it down, lifted it up, shook it around a little.
Oh, like it
Blew
was,
on it.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
definitely closed his hand on the
Did the
puck.
hokey pokey and he turned himself around?
I mean, that was a great play to get it out of the zone.
He
though.
he then gets boarded and
Oh,
nothing
Jesus
called.
H.
But okay.
Christ.
I mean, he did get boarded.
Yeah.
Why would he fucking do that? Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Okay, 1:28 left in the third period. Power play Islanders 2-1 Pittsburgh.
I have 128 left in the third period. We've caught up.
Well, there's a timeout. You're gonna start.
And they're about to drop the puck right now.
Yeah, we're still on.
Yeah,
on-
we're
on
still
the-
like 20
Ooh,
seconds behind.
ooh.
That's good, Steve. I like it.
He's the
That's
worst.
good.
Oh, Palmieri definitely fucking definitely checked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
We're done with our agenda. You're just listening to us watch a hockey game now. By the way, our wonderful listeners.
Oh, I didn't get to recap the week of the Devils.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what's your 4 points?
All right, here's what happened this week in Devils land.
Cricket.
You're not doing Maple Leafs.
Cricket.
Okay, good.
How many times I've told you guys
Oh,
that
right.
dead air is
Dead air is
bad for
bad.
the
Dead air
podcast?
is bad. Sorry. Yeah, nothing happened.
They didn't fire a coach. Lindy
Didn't
Ruff is
fire a
still the fucking
coach.
How
Nope.
is that even? How is
Didn't-
that remotely possible?
Didn't fire either of the assistant coaches. As a matter of fact, I think it was said that all three will be back for next season.
And no, they're just waiting for the playoffs to
No.
be over because there's somebody out there that they really want.
Nope.
Come on.
I was wondering that about the Rangers too. Like, do you think there's any coaches on playoff staff
Rod
that
Brind'Amour.
they're waiting to look at?
Rod
Brind'Amour?
Brind'Amour.
Why do you think Rob's
Well,
going
he's
to
gonna
go?
be in
Yeah.
demand. Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go, but for whatever reason, everybody thinks that Rob Brind'Amour is going to leave Carolina and come to New York. For some reason, he has no ties to New York. He played for Philadelphia, for Christ's sakes. He hated the Rangers.
And he loves being in Carolina, man.
He loves being the head coach of the Hurricanes right now. So unless they don't pay him, which could happen, he's a free agent after this year, right? His contract's up.
Might be. That game's over. All right, tied up.
I still have 30 seconds, Nick.
Well, guess what?
God damn it!
Congrats.
Congrats! What? Was it tied up or did we win?
Congrats,
I mean, I got 22 seconds to go. You guys are
Nobody
killing
broke
me.
a stick on the final shift. Congrats.
Yep. Anyway, I don't think Brind'Amour goes anywhere. He seems like he's going to resign. I'd be surprised if he decided to leave. If he decided to leave, it'd have to be some weird reason for him to go. I don't think
Yes,
it
I
was
agree.
A shit ton of money.
I mean, Gallant, and you got to think of it this way. Gallant already did a whole new franchise thing, and he's the first guy the Rangers wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
That usually has a impact on, telling
Well,
you
look,
who
he-
they want.
And the reason behind that is because, listen, he wasn't going to be in the United States for very long because he was going to coach Team Canada. He went to coach Team Canada, right? In the World Championships.
Do I have a right to be annoyed that Heischer is going to go play for Switzerland?
As long as he wears a face shield, I think he should be all right.
I mean, why are you
I
annoyed?
just feel like you're just opening yourself up for more injury after this very injury-prone season that you've had. Why not just take some time off
He's got at least
After
off
you-
until
after
This
you
is
played
September,
all
man.
of 20 games for the Devils?
Yeah, it's not allowed to play. That's why he's probably going to go play, is to make sure he gets.
I don't know. Part of me just feels like he's going to go over there and get hurt and then be out for the beginning of the Devil season.
well, if he turns out to be like one of those brittle players that's hurt a lot, then that's just what you're going to live with him as a player.
But I'd
going
rather he be
forward.
hurt playing for my team than playing for his country.
But he's got at least 3 months to recover. I mean, I don't even know when they're going to start training camp.
They're
That's-
looking to start training camp the end of September and drop the puck.
No.
End of September.
October.
No,
So they got a ways to go.
it's got to be earlier than that. First games are going to be like on the 12th of October.
Maybe they won't do
I said
preseason
middle,
games,
end of
which is always a
September.
bad idea.
No, you said end of September.
I meant to say middle end, but
Well,
look,
you
in a
didn't.
normal- in a
You
normal
didn't say
year-
that. But you
in a-
didn't. But you didn't say that.
in a
You
normal
said
year,
end. You said
That's
end
fine.
of September.
in a normal year, they don't start training camps until the middle of September anyway. And to start on October 1st or 3rd or something like that.
You said the end of September.
Great. I'm sorry. Jesus. Sorry, Mr. Devils fan turned fucking Maple Leafs.
Go Leafs, go. Oh, by the
Oh,
way, I looked it
jeez.
up. They're playing the Canadians.
Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
all the
Montreal-
Canadians,
said.
like,
Montreal
entire-
Canadians.
entire
whole-
country of Canada?
The whole country, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is,
I'm a
is,
Montreal boy. I'll have to root
Justin
for them against the
Trudeau going to
Leafs.
come out and play goalie there?
Who's that?
Justin Trudeau?
Yeah.
What the fuck his name is? He's going to be a backstop, filibustering all the goals.
Like Gallagher and Price played for the minor league team to get a game in so they can, I think they're going to play in the series, right? Price has been out for a while. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Canadian hockey.
Yeah,
this
me
year at all.
neither.
I've only know because of McDavid is because he scored over 100 points. If he didn't score 100 points this year, I wouldn't have known how many points he scored. So
But he
apparently,
did that against Canadian teams.
well, no, and we made that point very clear. But I think
Just gotta
Harry
remind
Price.
you.
I think Harry Price has been out for the majority of the season, so be interesting to see him play in the playoffs.
So what's going on in that Tampa, Florida game?
It's 2-1 Tampa.
2-1, about
14
15 minutes. Yeah.
14 minutes left in the. Wait, am I ahead of you now?
I'm in a commercial break. I don't
I
know.
gotta go find where. Oh, it's on CNBC, huh?
Yeah, I'm at
Yes.
14.
Yeah.
I'm at 14 minutes even. So you might be at the. You're watching on TV
At the
or you're
commercial?
watching on your phone.
Phone through the cable box, through the sling box.
Oh,
Vegas games are starting.
yeah. I mean, that's an interesting series, man. I really thought Vegas should have scored a lot more goals in that game.
Consider there was 0 goals in regulation.
There was some
Yeah.
hubbub about like a call that they didn't make against the Wild, and then a tick-tacky call that went against Vegas to give them the power play to score the winning goal. Right? I didn't see any of it, but that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't
welcome to
see
the
it.
NHL playoffs, man. The way they randomly call penalties is
The inconsistency and yeah.
We saw the game tonight, Bill. Like there was a couple of triple calls probably missed early against the Isles, and then some kind of later calls or makeup calls. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Just no consistency.
They turned a blind eye to a lot of hooking and grabbing and interference on both teams. I mean, it wasn't in favor of one team or the other. I didn't think, but I mean, yeah. But until that Wallstrom penalty, was a little more questionable than the others. But
Yeah, well, I'm saying I think that's the makeup call that they didn't call against Isles earlier. They got away with one. Isles is one, but whatever. It's the inconsistency pieces that seem to happen quite a bit. Wait to the playoffs. Well, just they put away the whistle. So still 2-1.
Still
2-1 in a commercial break. Lastly, before we get out of here, big congratulations to Anders Lee, Chris Kreider, PK Subban, and Sidney Crosby as the King Clancy nominees for their respective teams this year. I know you guys are on the edge of your seats.
which one's the King Clancy again?
I have no idea. The award recognizes leadership qualities, contributions to the community.
It's the
Ah,
Blue Ribbon Award, I think is what they call it.
they got to give that to Subban.
Just because he's in Newark?
Give it to a guy who might not even be on the team next year.
A gentleman of color playing in an area of color. What
do you think it would cost?
No, that's not
What do
very
you think it
easy
would
to say
cost?
nowadays? What's wrong with you?
What do you think it would cost to convince Seattle to take him in the expansion draft?
What, 9 million a year?
Your first round draft pick.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Would
could
they
be,
need to?
And that's
They got to get to the floor.
Yeah, they do. And that's
why they keep
beauty
them.
for them. They can do a lot of shit like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Seattle's got to get to the floor.
I don't think Seattle's going to have any problems getting to the floor. If they wheel and deal the way Vegas did to build that team, I think they're going to be just fine. I think the Devils have to worry about getting to the floor.
I think they're going to sign 3 free agents. They might overpay. They're probably not going to get, top of the line guys, but I think they're going to overpay to get 3 guys to help them get to the floor.
Who do you think?
I'd have to look at I really got to look at I don't think anybody who's worth it is going to want to come, right? If Dougie Hamilton gets to free agency, I don't think he's going to want to come to New Jersey, even though it's the best place for him because that's exactly what he's the exact type of player the team needs.
I don't disagree with you.
I do think that if we don't see an RFA offer sheeted this offseason, it's just not going to happen.
You're not going to see one.
Well, I think if it's going to happen, this is the offseason for it to happen.
But it's not going to happen.
Well,
I'm with you. I want it to happen, but it's never going to happen.
It's just too expensive. You give up too many draft picks to make a.
Well, and there's bad blood and there's all that other shit.
I would happily give up, what is it, like 4 or 5 first round picks for Cal McCarr.
Yeah, I get that.
How many?
I would give up 4 first round picks for Braden Point.
I wouldn't do that.
I would.
I think he's a good player, but
What are you people on?
That's too much, man. Even 4 from McCarr is a lot. It's a ton. I mean, you can always have 4 shitty draft picks. But I mean, if he's the missing piece, then sure. If your team is
get-
ready to go,
If I give up 4 Mike McLeods and 4 Pavel Zakas for 1 Cal McCarr, I think that's a fair enough deal.
I think that's a really good move.
yeah, like if Tampa wanted to circumvent the cap,
Right?
even
McLeod
further,
was picked 9. Zaka was picked around 16.
Look, we didn't even talk about the cap for the playoffs, and that was an agenda
Oh.
item that I
Save that for next week.
next
Yes.
week.
Yeah, that's
It's
something
still
we got to
air.
talk
But
about.
I do want to talk about that. You mentioned something about the Rangers getting rid of Dairy Queen. What the hell was that about? I love Dairy Queen.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at friends_rivals, on Facebook and YouTube, Friends and Rivals Podcast. When you're on YouTube, click comment and share. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, such as Apple or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to give us a like and even give us a review, because it will really help out our show. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks a lot for listening, especially to the guy in Germany, the one guy in India. Really appreciate it. Bill, say something witty. Oh, you can't? Great. Bill, play us out.
Don't forget your favorite. Don't forget Maddie.
Bye, Matt.
I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.